Good evening, traders, and welcome to the weekly commodity report. I'm your host, Paul. This is where I use wave analysis to look at the charts, try to determine what patterns are playing out and what price levels are going to be key to the markets. So let's look at natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium today. And we'll start with natural gas. This is the futures contract. A couple patterns that are in play. It looks to me very much like they made an expanding flat here for the B wave. So A, and then this looks very much just 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then pretty much straight down. So it looks like A, B, C for the B wave. And so now it should be going up for the C wave. So that's one pattern that's in play, that this is an expanding flat and we're going up for the C wave. There is the possibility, and I don't really like this, that this is three ways up, and that was a W. This three ways was X, and then three ways up for like a Y. And the correction is done, and now natural gas is starting to come down. And then this little piece in here, it could be that this is like its own little A, B, C, and that was one. And then you had this three-wave move, and that's two. And now they're in the process of coming down. But given the way that this came down only in three waves, and now has started to rip higher, it feels more like it's a diagonal going up, which would make a lot of sense then. So we would have the A and the B in, and now we're going up for the C, and this would be one, and then this three-wave move that they completed today would be two, and then they're going to come up in three waves for three, come down for four, and then still go back up for five. And that'll complete the C wave. And so that's my primary count right now. Now this is a key level, obviously, 2097, because if they break that, then I think the C, well, actually it won't be a C wave, but be a WXY. Then I think the correction ended at 2301. So we're right in the middle, just about of these two levels, but I would think any more push up is going to really make this look more like this is just 1, 2, and then they're going up for 3. But if it were to just kind of stall here and then start to come back down, then I'll have to relook at this, that this might be 1 and that's 2, and then they're actually now just coming down for the third wave. So, but as I've been saying for the last several weeks, I don't think this was all the correction coming down here to this 1882. I think that's just the first wave. This is all correction. And like I said, I think they're going up for the C wave. And then there's still going to be one more trip down to break 1882. So let's see which one plays out. You got your two key levels. Actually, I mean, pretty much as soon as they break, that level, 2278, then you can, I mean, it's almost at the top anyway, but then for sure, then this is 1, 2, and then they'll break that 2301 for the 3, give you a 4, and then give you a 5, and then start to head on down. And then at that point, I would be interested in shorting natural gas, because like I said, over in this stuff, it's too risky because you don't know. But if they give this nice ABC pattern, and it's up here, then shorting up here, I think is definitely well worth the risk then at that point. But somewhere in here, it's just a little dicey still. All right, let's move on to oil. All right, so I've had oil wrong now. They confirmed that today, actually this whole week. need to go out to the bigger picture in oil, go out to a daily chart. So here's the 129 high back in March of 22. And since then, they made this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave leading diagonal, made this expanding flat correction, and then one more down and set the low in May of 23. So all in all, it's just an A, B, C correction. And there was always a possibility that that was all the correction, and then oil would start to work its way up and eventually take that 129 out. But price has just keeps making a series of lower highs here. And so there's a couple of patterns in play. Now, I still feel that this move here was 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, something there. And so that's why I always thought, you got your 5-wave move, any type of correction should be going back up. And all of a sudden now, especially over here, it's always hard with triangles. I don't see them until near the very end. We just had a series of 3-wave moves. So here was 3 waves, and then it made this little 3-wave move back up. And then they gave us this 5-wave move down. And so then I was thinking, well, because I thought this was 5 waves, I thought this could be like an ABC, and now it's going to start to go up. But they went up, and now we broke the low again. And so now that's a 3-wave move down. So it gets really complicated. The best pattern that looks to me is a triangle. And so I've been looking at this. I don't really see the three. It started off really choppy down here, so it could be that it's like an A, a B, and then like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves for the C. That's the only way I can see a 3-wave pattern. But it definitely has all the looks of a contracting triangle. So 3 waves there, 3 waves there. I always thought that this was 5 waves, but now that I look at it, it does look more like a running flat here. So like A, B, and then this was the ending diagonal that I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 3-wave, and then here's 3 waves and 3. So it looks, that's just a textbook contracting triangle right there, which makes a lot of sense because if we look back at this bigger pattern in play, if this was all 1, 2, 3 waves, that'd be like the W, and then this triangle, which is very typical, or typical in an X wave, that'd be the X wave, and now oil is going to come down in 3 waves to break 63 in 3 waves. So I think because we've had 5 down, correct up, and now they just barely broke the low. So I don't know if the low is quite in, but I would think that this will be like an A wave, or maybe they'll push it down a little bit more. Gonna get a B wave bounce, and then one more strong push down, and break that 63, 60, 61, and then it would be W, X, and then Y. And then at this point, oil becomes at least a short-term buy, because anytime, as I always say, whenever you got W, X, Y, you could always get, another X and then the Z wave, one more down. And given how choppy oil has been in this bottom portion here, I could definitely see them just dragging this out and oil just being stuck in that kind of a range for 3 to 6, maybe even longer months. So for right now, oil for me now has become bearish. The other pattern is that they made this like a contracting flat. Not even gonna go there until I have more evidence of that. In the members, my members section, I'm gonna do a video update for you guys on what the potential is for that pattern to play out. But yeah, for right now, all I see is more downside in oil. Now you do have, especially on the daily, you do have some divergence. So that's why I expect this to maybe push a little bit lower, but this will be like just the A wave. You got the divergence, so you'll get the correction up, and then one more wave down. So and that would just make a whole lot more sense to me then. So actually oil starting to become a little attractive, just playing for a short-term bounce for the B wave, because it'll be fairly substantial. It won't be one of these small corrections like in here. I mean, it'll be something probably in the upper 70s. But then you just got to know that I think it's coming all the way down to break 63. So short-term buy oil pretty soon, if not already, is becoming a short-term buy. All right, let's move on to the metals. Start with copper. And I got to drill in here. They made, let me zoom in first. They made, it looks to me like a leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then they gave this little correction right into the purple zone and then made a new high. So all in all, that's a 3-wave move, which suddenly becomes a little suspect as to what is going on. Because as I said, I think they're going up for the 5th wave. And, the 4 should be in at 392. But this bigger purple zone here, this 4.1 to 4.2 range, you got to be careful, because if they're making a diagonal, oops, because we have an ABC, that could be 1, that could have been 2, and then this could be like just the A, this 3-wave could be B, and then they're going to have one more going down, and then that'll be like a 3rd wave then. And then all of a sudden this doesn't look so good for copper going up. So yeah, copper becomes a little tricky to trade right here. If anything, if they are going to be going up, it'll probably be in a diagonal then, with all that being just the 1st wave, which means there should be a pretty healthy pullback for 2, and then they would have to resume and break that 4215, assuming that the 4215 is the end of this like the C wave, if they're going to go back up. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be buying for sure right here, not until you saw a 3-wave pullback, and then you can take a chance. But knowing that if they do break that 392 level, then I think I want to be out, because copper could be going down, but in a diagonal. I mean, you still might even be able to get out for break even as it comes back up for the 4th wave. If that's 1, 2, and they're going to be finishing 3, they'll have to come up for 4. So that's why it only would make sense to wait for a pullback if you're not already in. If you're already in, you got to make a decision, I think, because it looks to me like you just have a 3-wave move right now, and it's in a kind of a sell zone right now. So it would not surprise me now if we start to see some selling, at least for 3 waves, if they're going to resume, but it could get really aggressive and break that 392. So yeah, copper, I wouldn't want to do anything right now with it. you already have to be in it one way or the other to be able to make some sense out of what this is. Could be the start of diagonal, or could be the end of the B wave is happening. I mean, it's almost perfectly at that 42185 level. So we could be seeing copper sell off. All right, let's go on to gold. All right, yeah, so gold made a new all-time high. As I kind of alluded to last week, it certainly looked like they were just making a series of 1-2s, and I think that's exactly what it is. So off of the June low, looks like you got 1-2, and now here is 1-2, and then this looks like 1-2-3-4-5 up to here. So I'm not even sure that this could still be part of just the fifth wave of this third wave, but it could be that that's 3 and this is 4, and then they're going up for 5, and that'll complete this 5-wave move, but then you still got this 1 and 2. And so 3 will be, still north of probably 25-40, if not even higher. And then you got a correction for 4 for that, and then you're still going to be going back up. So gold just looks super, super good. Yeah, I'd only want to be buying gold. This, at some point, we're going to get a 4, but I can take this box off because it's not going to be happening for a while. This fourth wave has, or this third wave still has more to go. But eventually, we'll get a really big pullback, and I'll have targets when I think this third wave is done. But yeah, for now, gold looks great. Any pullbacks, and I definitely want to be buying. All right, silver. Yeah, so silver looking just as strong. Now there is just a 3-wave move, and they just kind of pierced the top of this box. So there is that still, I think it's a very slim chance that they're making a diagonal. You had ABC, that'd be 1. That would be 2. That was 3. And then this ABC, like right into this range that I had from last week, just kind of pierced it and then went back in it. I mean, it's possible that that's 4, and they're actually going to come down for 5. So again, this is one of those situations, I think, for silver that you have to already be in silver, because I would not want to be buying up here. I definitely want to be in silver long, but I think because you have like ABC, I think then they might be going up like in a diagonal. So you might be getting like a bigger pullback here. So like either that's 1 and they're creating 2, or this could be a bigger A and this will be a B, and then you get a strong C, and we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think those should be a bigger pullback coming in silver pretty soon. So, and especially because of the fact that this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it could be coming all the way down under 26 for the 5th wave. I'd only want to be buying after a bigger pullback here, just in case this bigger drop does happen. But it still looks like just a 3-wave move into a great buy zone here, and I'd only want to be long silver. So yeah, if you're in, you're fine. I think if you're not in, I think you just got to wait for like at least one more drop, give you 3 waves down, and then you can get back in. All right, uranium. All right, so uranium is right in this zone now, that if they're doing some kind of a diagonal, like 1, 2, and this was 3 waves for 3, this is right where 4 should be, somewhere in here. I think a little higher though, but you could be getting a 5th wave. So like when I drill in on this move up, it looks very much like all we have is there's this running flat here. So A, B, C. So I think this is either like 1, 2, or it's A, B, and now they're making a C wave, but it doesn't look done yet. Like there's only like 3 waves up really that I see. Actually, there's a little 4 and 5, but it doesn't look like unless it's a really contracting diagonal. It looks like there should be at least one more push up higher, and then you got to watch, because if this is A, B, and C up to here, it could be coming all the way down, like I said, for the 5th wave, and then under 22, uranium becomes really attractive, at least for just a short-term trade up after 5 waves. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be just entering uranium. So like all the metals, like I wouldn't want to be buying any of them where they are right now. Like you already have to be in from somewhere lower, or I think it's got to go up one more time. Nothing big worth buying, and then that'd either be like 1, 2, and 3, or it could be like an ABC. And then I'd only want to buy if you get like a bigger pullback. Because then at least here, even if it comes down for that 5th wave, you should be able to get out for break even until you can figure out what uranium is doing. So yeah, I wouldn't be a buyer right here. But if it gives a decent pullback, then it becomes a little more better for the risk side, reward side. All right, that's what I see in the commodities. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and support, and I'll see you in the next video.